What is up, risk takers? Welcome to the Kill Pete strategy. I am Pete. I am a top player in Risk Global Domination. I have a daily release on YouTube. I'm doing weeknight streams on Twitch. And if you are interested in getting better at the game of Risk, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Come along the ride with me. Oh no, don't do this yourself. Oh, we're doing it, Truth Powers. We're doing it. Welcome to the Risk News Q&A show, folks. I would like to start the Risk Global Domination Update 3.12.
Hello, Generals, and welcome back to another update video on Risk Global Domination. Today, we're going to be talking about Update 3.12. So, let's get straight into it. Our team has been hard at work creating a new tutorial system called Basic Training.
We got new tutorials.
The reason why we added basic training to
Let's find out why.
Because we have a lot of new players. So we want everyone to understand
the reason we added tutorials is because nobody is doing any job at teaching people how to play, how to Risk on YouTube. They suck. They're bad players. Don't listen to them.
Basics of the game. And hopefully it will grow the game for everyone.
Hopefully.
Basic training will be...
I don't have to hope. I just do it. But
training modules that cover the core concepts.
I can't wait to go through these.
Each of these training exercises is accompanied...
Not everyone watches Risk on YouTube.
And a wiki article, which will go into much more detail. You will also be rewarded for completing these basic training modules. These rewards will include the new commander frame...
Thank you, Andre.
...and battle points. Next up, let's talk about changes to our music.
Oh boy.
This will include...
Has anybody heard the new Risk music? I haven't heard it yet. Is it any good? Any feedback on this question? It's not half bad? All right, I'll give it a shot.
In-game and main menu music. We know most of the community enjoy the epic battle music in Risk. So... our goal is to create this energy, but with our own original track.
Pete, if you consider making videos for YouTube, I don't know, Sam Boy, I'll give it a shot.
This also means that the new music won't get flagged by YouTube for Content ID for content creators. These two tracks were produced by Jared Underwood.
Oh, that's what he looks like! This is the musician!
Risk energy.
Let's go!
The behind the scenes of Jared creating the main...
Let's go, Jared! Hey, thank you, XX Outlaw. Thank you so much, man.
His links will be in the description below. Currently,
dude, that guy's studio looks sick.
Randomly in our daily shop.
Oh, they're changing the shop.
Because of this, it can take quite a while to purchase the emote you want to buy. As per community request, we have added an extra customization menu where players can purchase any emotes available, just like you would with our other customization items. There are also some other important things to mention in Update 3.12, including...
I was in the update video? What do you mean?
New draft phase notifications
what?
To highlight customization items.
Where?
There are also some other
Where was I?
menu where players can purchase any emotes available, just like you would with our other customization items.
Before the music?
There are also some other important things to
mention
in Update 3 when playing the game. This also means that the new music won't get flagged by YouTube.
This guy! It's Pete! He's in the video! He's using the Pete dice!
Creators. These two tracks were produced by Jared Underwood.
Just so you guys know, the reason I don't play the Risk music, other than the fact that I don't like it, if I liked it, I'll give this music a shot, is that it's not that the Risk music gets legitimately flagged, right? It's that there are spurious content flags and copyright chasing companies that make bullshit claims that just you have to filter out, and YouTube doesn't necessarily protect you from that very well. So that's just why my default is always to do no music. All right, we're going back to talking about how to buy our emotes,
to purchase the emote you want to buy.
which is good.
As per community request, we have added an extra customization menu where players can purchase any emotes available, just like you would with our other customization items. There are also some other important things to mention in Update 3.12, including... we now have a new draft phase notification screen to highlight the player's number of troops received on their turn, while also showcasing the equipped troop. We have now added a pop-up...
that looks like one of those new maps.
...to restart their solo game. Some other small changes include... fixing the zombie bug where the zombies would get stuck on the drafting stage. Tutorials have now been moved to the solo game mode.
We got tutorials.
And we have removed the nothing inactivity behavior option from game filters. And that's everything we have going out in update 3.0.
Thank you, SMG.
We'd love any feedback you have towards this new update or towards anything Risk related.
Feedback.
And with that, update 3.12
If with
is
that,
finally out.
yeah.
Thank you, Generals. Over and out.
Over and out. All right. So there you go. Update 3.12 is in effect, folks. It covers everything that you just heard SMG talk about. And here, let's go over quickly the roadmap to Q3. Greetings, Generals. Last month, I reached out to the community to see if they'd like a roadmap video. So thanks to Nick. I gotta say, shout out to Nick. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. There was a long period of time where there was radio silence from SMG. So just hearing what they're working on is super helpful so we can understand what they're paying attention to, what they're putting effort into. I'm not trying to necessarily be a super SMG shill about this, but I am grateful to hear from them. And at least we get to hear things in their own words, which I'm sure you guys must recognize is a privilege, not a right. So here's Nick talking about the roadmap.
Hey everyone, I am Nick, the Community and Social Media Manager at SMG Studio. I am here on behalf of the Risk Dev team.
Pete, my mom is watching over my shoulder. She thinks you're
of
very attractive. What's up,
Domination.
JC Murph's mom?
So, earlier
Kisses to
I
you.
reached out to the community about whether or not you'd be interested in seeing more intimate content like this. And it seemed like a lot of you were actually interested.
I know he looks like such a baby.
So this is the kind of approach I was thinking of going, and if you have any feedback...
He's their
please
social
feel
media
free to let
manager,
me know.
guys. Come on.
Today I'll be discussing the roadmap for Risk in the third quarter of 2023.
We're going through the roadmap.
This will include an updated tutorial system, new music, and upcoming content. All right,
So
let's
we've
get
heard about
started with
the
our
tutorial
updated
system.
tutorial system.
We've
We
heard
understand
about
that Risk can be a daunting conquest
the
for new
roadmap,
players. To
the
try
music.
and capture this
All right, so we got
battle
that.
style
Now,
game in
let's go for the spice,
meaning
folks.
It'll just be easier to stream.
What's the
Risk.
real spice?
The new music for Risk will be introduced in update 3.12. For a long time, the community has expressed
More content.
interest in wanting to see more map packs.
Let's go.
Well, we've listened to your feedback and we are working on delivering your request. Earlier this year, we released the Universal Domination map pack, which got great feedback from both content creators and players. And although that map pack was actually quite recent, we've been hard at work creating a new one. So I'm going to take this opportunity in this roadmap video to tell you all what that new map pack is, or if you read the community bulletin I wrote, you probably already know. But, so...
We're going to go over this
our
one as
new
well.
map pack will be the Viking Conquest map pack.
Viking maps, folks.
But that's not all.
Spice.
Earlier, we reached out to the community to get
And
their
we get a
thoughts
Viking troop.
on what our next troop would be if it was Viking inspired. Well, I can confirm that we will be releasing some Vikings inspired troops. This will include the Vikings ship. So the Viking ship was by far the most voted troop by the community. So
That looks
I suppose it's
good.
only right that we put that in. We actually do plan to release some more Vikings related troops as well at some point.
Yeah,
Cannot
and the rest of them
confirm
just talking
when.
about emotes going in the shop, which we've already talked
Potentially might be
about.
this quarter.
So I'm going to move on to just a little quick TikTok from Nick that I wanted to share on the show. This is our social media manager for Risk Global Domination. And this is the type of thing that you will find when you finally reach beginner rank in the game you literally work on.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal. People know me.
Okay, so just to keep in mind, folks, many of you in the chat are probably aware of the incredible hard work it takes to get to beginner in Risk Global Domination, meaning it isn't and play your game. Play your game. Okay. Community Bulletin number 19. This year is going by so quickly. We are already halfway through 2023, and there's so much to discuss. Here's what we'll cover in the roadmaps. We've talked about all of this Season 12, Q3 update, 3.12, the new map pack, new troops, and more. Season 12 is upon us. Season 12 is actually halfway done already. So why don't I just show you a quick peek at the leaderboard Season 12, our top 10 players. Shout out to number 10, Kaitlin Takino. Number 9, ET, streams Risk if you don't know him. He would love to have you find Dutchman. Isham Sugimoto at 8th place. Ejash at 7th. General Tigress 77 at 6th place. Elwood Flinders 5th place. Quince Bachta at 4th place. TMBA 3rd place. Tweezer 69. We know this is IP White. 46,277. And standing heads and shoulders above the rest. 1st place on the leaderboard for Risk. Shout out to my buddy Truth Powers. Congratulations on rank number 1 this season, and I am totally going to steal your stats. I'm not your stats. I'm going to steal your settings next season, but I'll let you grind the heck out of them this season before the old Peatman runs them through the grinder and destroys everything. Yes, the grinding does pay off. I just also wanted to show you guys the not true leaderboard, but a much more representative leaderboard for Risk Global Domination. This is where the Saber system is at. As of the middle of August 2023, One Shot is currently sitting rank 1 of his tournament performances. 2nd place, Tim. 3rd place is the inventor of the system is Saber. I would say Arco probably underrated at 4th place. Under the Gun hasn't played in a while, so his rank is slowly decaying out. And then I'm sitting at 6th place. JJ Brach, possibly underrated at 7th. We got Fonty 13, rank 8. I am Mamba, rank 9. Mamba's our defending GM champion, and Kilted sitting out, rounding out the top 10. Also, Kilted and I obviously are going to get targeted to oblivion, so I'm glad we are still sitting high enough. Where are you, Spud? Let's see where Spud is. Spud is currently sitting at 27th place, but of course you did take off from a lot of tournaments. So this is rating all of our tournament performance in recent history. And that is the way Saber is trying to do it. Okay, so for the next segment of the show, I wanted to talk about the tournaments. So currently we are in the semi-finals of the Kill Pete Open, folks. Shout out to Sauron, Pierre Stonefield, Cecil Dogan, Caddy the Eagle, Van Agarwal, and Blazin in Group 1 for the semis. And in semis Group 2, shout out to Samboy. I know you're in the chat. Congrats on making semis, bro. Same with Kuhl, Brayman 55, Arco, as I said, probably still underrated, and Chief and the Red Apple. Whenever I fall below rank 20. Is that what you think it is? I think I'll have to fall further than that. But, we're not going to stop trying. So, thank you to all 12 of you. I wish you guys the best of luck. I hope you have tons of fun in the tournament. And we'll see who gets to win my money. Half of these players will have gotten their seat in the finals and are sitting to win my money. I would also like to shout out the Risk Legends Tournament, my buddy, a.k.a. Studley Spudley, in the chat, the host of the Risk Legends Tournament, hosted by the Potato Paradise server. I am somehow, some way, still alive in Legends. Look at this. I squeaked by the skin of my nuts to round 4 after getting absolutely kill-fed by Marcellus. The top of the card, we have Marin Brambat, no surprise, a Risk legend himself. I am Mamba, Leona, Tim, also not a shocker. General Leather, this is Riedel. So we're seeing some really good players at the top card. Obi Dose, Arco again. Pipe Rat, who almost swept our game last week. Winifred, Samboy, and my buddy Kyle doing all right. Also, really nice to see a good season by Spud. Spud sitting at 13th place overall. Good luck to you. I'm certainly glad to not have to play you again. This week, I will be playing against Arco, Math 2 Law, Pearly Burn, and Navioski. And it is zombies and it is fog. So I will not be streaming this one live. This is just going up on the YouTubes, but because it's going up on the YouTubes, wish me luck, folks. I'm still going to try my best to make it to top 12, which will be semifinals for Legends, right? Am I right? Round 5 is semis? Yeah, round 5 is semis. Top 12 advance. So we have a chance. I'm saying there's a chance, folks. All right, the next segment I would like to talk about, we have 2 tournament signups open currently. If you'd like to get in the Risk community and sign up, there's a couple of ways you can do it. Firstly, Parlox is hosting the inaugural 70% tournament. This is signups are available on the Risk Grandmasters Arena server. This is the link to the sign up form if you guys watching live would like to take part. You have to be on GM Arena. Sign me up. Here you go. Be on GM Arena. Check it out. And if you are looking to join our World Championships, here it is. So Risk World Championships signups are open. You don't have to be a Grandmaster, I don't think, for this one. But for Risk World Championships, it is Season 3 2023, and signups are open. You have to be on the main Risk Discord, which is available through the app, or discord.gg/risk. Sign up, get your butts in the seats, folks. See if you have what it takes to be a champion. Here is the sign up link for the Risk World Championships. Season 3, 2023. Get your butts in the seats, folks. We'd love to have you. Okay. And now we are moving on to the Q&A portion of the show. All right. Ladies and gentlemen. So our previous priority Q&A was... we're missing someone. Damn it. Okay, so these are my modified Arco settings. And all I am trying to do is play for second in this game. So I'm going to cap somewhere out of the way and take cards and let people hit each other, and then eventually be able to answer the questions. Q&A big question. Do you scrunch your toilet paper, fold it? Do you wipe it all? You guys are disgusting. You guys are absolutely disgusting human beings, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Okay. Do I take the North America cap? I don't hate that. I think this one makes more sense, though. Digging the tamed hair. So I got to try it. I got to try to switch it up, guys. All right. Our only priority question here is from Quarantine. He says, hey, Pete, hope you're doing well. Got a super duper serious question. What are the last 4 digits of your social security number? Interesting fact about Canadians, we don't have social security numbers. Okay. So moving to the Q&A portion of the show, and we're coming off of a spicy one. How far back in time do I have to go to get this one? So, yeah, I remember where we left off. Hiya, Pete. Could you tell chat they're all cuties for me? That was my only question. The rest of this is more so arguments and comments, but I felt it belonged here. So as I said, I take exception to anyone using the platform to pontificate other than me, because I'm the man with the microphone. But the good thing is that this person had compelling arguments that I would like to discuss. Oh my God. Magenta is hitting the bot cap without letting the bot just walk off normally. Okay, so they feed it to orange potentially? Interesting open. If orange doesn't take it, maybe I do. Cool. I'd love to start with 2 capitals. I tried talking about risk here before, but it was evident I had no clue what I was talking about. Solid humility. Since then, I've made a risk account, just hit Grandmaster, so she knows what she's talking about. 46 hours, 26 wins, 24 losses. Thanks to you and Kyle for teaching me how to play. You're welcome. You've talked about how Risk has potential to become bigger than chess and its future as an esport. I'm rated 2,000 on chess.com. I don't know what that means, but I assume it's good. Top 0.5%. Okay. That's very good. Okay. Very good chess player. So I've played chess on and off for a couple of years, and while I do think Risk has great potential, I cannot see it becoming bigger than chess. Okay, so I remember this, right? This is the I don't agree with your dream, and I'm going to explain why your dream is bullshit. Can't see it becoming bigger than chess. I'd argue against Risk being bigger than chess for a couple of reasons. Now we get to hear the reasons, and I like this because I get to argue against. I get to defend or update my beliefs, right? Okay, so orange failed. Fuck. And botted. I take the free capital? Yeah, I think I try and get there. Oh, this is difficult, though. I mean, maybe I hit the... I think this is smarter. Ah, it was not. It was not. We tried. We tried to steal that cap, folks. Ah, man. Noob, cap, slams. Look at all the noob slamming. For real. Yep, Magenta gets it for free. Lucky Magenta starts with the 2 caps. And that's a really good position, too, in Australia. Okay. So, here is the reason why, according to Kathy, that Risk cannot become bigger than chess. I would argue for a couple of reasons. The first reason is that it lacks the immense infrastructure that chess has built over thousands of years. That's tautological. So something being popular makes it continue to be popular. We understand how that exists. And if you accept my argument that it could be, then this argument falls to nothing. The second being the skill ceiling in chess being so much higher than Risk. So I actually think this is a great argument. So I actually think that the fact that the skill ceiling in chess is higher than in Risk is a negative for chess and a positive for Risk. Think about it this way. So part of what makes something popular is accessibility. So if you have a game like Risk, which is admittedly simpler than chess to understand, but psychologically deep, you end up in an environment where you have a ton of accessibility to young people, to children. I mean, chess and Risk are fundamentally different also because they are, right? One is a free-for-all game and one is a heads-up game, right? Hey, thank you, Stumbino, for the sub. Thank you so much. Wormdirt says, do you think that chess would always be technically less complex because you're always degenerating in options overall, where something like a board stall is far different in Risk? I think chess is technically less complex because there's less opponents and a simpler board, right? You're not dealing with probability. And that's not to say that chess is easier or there's a lower skill ceiling, because both of those are false, I think. Chess is a harder game with a higher skill ceiling than Risk, but it is technically less complex. And there's just that, and that has specific meaning. Okay. Another argument. While Risk does have a high skill ceiling, it won't make or break every game. Someone rated 400 points higher than someone else in chess will and should win 90% of the games. Yep. That isn't true for Risk. Yep. We agree. I think we just disagree on whether or not this is a negative. I think this is a positive for Risk. Oh man, can I steal this guy's game? Wow. Why is this happening? Oh, purple sucks so bad. Okay. So because chess has a higher skill ceiling, it makes it less accessible. That's basically my point, and I think we just fundamentally disagree with this. Let me read the rest of what she's saying. Because of Risk's nature as a free-for-all game, as well as a game that's incredibly dependent on luck, incredibly is a use of an adverb, which we understand is often brought in for hyperbole. So we don't need, when we're making an argument, we don't need adverbs, right? We don't need to qualify why something would be dependent on luck. Obviously, risk is dependent on luck, whereas chess is not. We acknowledge this. In chess, the only point of randomness is whether or not you start with white or black, which is alternate every game. Yeah, we agree. There's no luck in risk in chess, and there is luck in risk. In competitive chess tournaments, you will often play each other once with black and once with white. It isn't a possibility. Everything will never be under your control. Yes, I see risk has great potential, but can't be a top esport. If you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to chess, why dream that risk can become bigger than it? I understand that it's rude to call your dream stupid, but isn't it? If you don't even understand competitive chess, why are you talking about it? Interesting. This looks like it was edited in after the fact. If you had posted that without editing in, I would not have responded to the comment. So yeah, you get to go away now. So here's the thing, guys. There's a lower skill ceiling in Risk. I think that's a benefit. I think it's a good thing. I think having an accessible game where children can come and play and not have to memorize opens and go through the kind of brute force calculation. Like, it's very hard for me to articulate in language why I think Risk is a compelling game, right? I think a lot of people don't get it, and that's fine, right? I get not all games are for everybody. I think Risk is a psychology game, right? I think getting good at Risk really requires you to understand people and how to negotiate with people, how to talk to people, how to put yourself in a situation where you win the game, but your opponent has something to lose as well. That's how I think about it. And I also absolutely love this community and love the thing we're building. So I'm very grateful. Kyle says, I could Dana White this game into an esport, but I'd need some funding. Yeah, man. It's the current game as it is, focusing on things that don't matter structurally, is very upsetting. And also having a speed handicap at the outset, right? Starting your game with a he doesn't want an older bonus. That's fine. I have a second capital, dude. I don't give a fuck. You can break my bonus all day long, my friend. I don't care. Oh man, this guy thinks I care about a bonus. Yeah, we don't need to harp on about that. I am in service to you guys when you write these questions. So a little bit of understanding that I don't have to do this Q&A. And the audacity of anybody to try and think that they would use it as their platform to speak is just it's kind of the point I'm making, right? Right? If you lack the empathy to think about the platform, right? What is the point of me sitting here having this conversation with you right now? To some extent, the point of me sitting here having this conversation is to make content for me, because I benefit from making content for me. It's also to make content for you, because you watch it. You are watching me right now. You are listening to me talk. So there is a selfish motivation that I do not pretend doesn't exist. I'm doing this to benefit myself. However, why would I engage in a Q&A show? What would the point of that be? Right? I am in service to you, the viewer. I am answering your questions in my Discord. I'm very interested in some of them. We can do without the editorial. If you're going to use the format for what it's for, we are going to continue to do it. And obviously, I would love to answer questions in the Twitch chat. I would love to answer questions in the YouTube chat, YouTube comments. This is how we get them in. So we do them in the Q&A in my Discord in priority sequence. So where is our next question? UCase asked, I think I've answered this, but I'll answer it again because I do this a lot. Is there any reason? Oh, please hit the cap. Roll it. Roll it. You know you want to. Roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it. Is there any reason to clear the map when playing a caps game? I've seen more than a few players do this, and I should be aware that they only need to take the caps, but they seem to insist on defeating every enemy. Thanks. Okay, there's a couple of reasons to do this. It is satisfying. The main reason to do this is to train your skills in tournaments. Tournament games have bounty points associated with them. If you do not clear the player, you do not get the bounty point. So that is the primary skill players are training when they clear the map in a caps game. We got a question from Vendetta69. Hello there. Hello there. Fairly new to Risk and this Discord and Pete's videos. Quick question. I'm sitting on intermediate right now and losing 1 or 2 games before I win one. Okay, so you have like a half to 1/3 win rate. Prague World Dom. My question is, what game mode would be the fastest or easiest to climb the ranks with a fairly new player still learning the ropes? I get this type of question a lot. What is the most efficient way to rank up in Risk? And my answer always is, do you care about rank or do you care about getting better? Because those are not the same thing. If you care about getting better, you should play the types of games that are fun and interesting for you to play. If you care about rank, you should play the most gimmicky, lower number of opponents bullshit you can come up with, which is like some sort of 3-player caps nonsense with a bot. This decision is up to you. I'm not suggesting that I would presume to tell anyone how they should play. But it's such a silly question. How do I rank up in Risk? The ranking system does not equate to ability very well. It does somewhat. Some Grandmasters are better than others. It's way harder to get to Grandmaster and Classic Fixed than it is playing prog caps. Way harder. So it's not really a Risk ranking system. It's a caps ranking system. All right. Our next question from Brunch Onder. 4-player game with Fog. I get an advantage in Europe over Red. Instead of repositioning, he suicides. Then I trade kill Red player, and both other players take turns suicide slamming into me. Luckily, I get amazing dice and survive. But then they start stacking next to each other and ignoring one another, only hitting me. No alliances are on. By turn 5, I'm dead. What's the point in teaming up 3-on-1? This happens often. What am I doing wrong? Am I not over-attacking? Am I being overly aggressive? I can't help but feel all 3 are working together. But really, I probably just suck any pointers. You won't be able to know what you're missing if you can't see through the fog. So I think once you put in enough repetitions on something without fog, then you can figure out what you're missing and add the fog. But if it happens consistently, maybe you're getting collabed on a lot, but that's low likelihood, right? Chances are you're not. And chances are there's something you're doing. I can't guess. Yeah, you see, that's why. That's why, Magenta. Keeping all these off-cap troops, you dumbass. That's why, Magenta. You greedy fuck. Black's going to steal your capital for keeping it weak. I love this game now. I'm going to open this line. So he can get up to the, which one do I open? Maybe I open both. No, this is a fine line. That does all I need for it to do. It doesn't even break his bonus. He'll get the extra troops to punch black. He's going to punch either up into the 17 or over into the 16. Either way, I'm happy with. Stupid greed. Okay, we see it so often. It's not that you probably just suck, right? I probably just suck. We all suck. We're learning. We're learning the hard way. And that's good. That's good, man. You're doing good. In order for you to pattern recognize, you need a representative sample. So you need to understand that other players in Fog might not see other players, and other players in Fog might have just assumed that you're the biggest threat. We don't know. Okay, you're not giving me enough to work with, but those are some of the possibilities. But I will say you're approaching this problem with a great amount of humility, which is very useful for solving it. So keep critically analyzing your own game and figure out. He's going to double tap. You suck. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're going to throw the game. You're going to give it to black if you do that. I love playing these games because I don't care about them. You think SMG will support Risk long enough for it to reach its full potential? That remains to be seen. If SMG understands how important the competitive scene is for the growth of the game long term, maybe. If SMG continues to rely on cosmetics and animations and tutorials and spending money on music, right? I just focus on the things that we need. A viable competitive scene, right? We need a sandbox mode. We need the ability to pop instantaneous dice rolls. We need a ranking system that works. We need the ability to plant blizzards, to plant portals, right? We need the ability to have a set configuration for a tournament so everyone plays with the same spawn. Little things like that, folks. All right. Our next question is from Goatman. I love Goatman. Thank you for your question, sir. Hey, Pete, I hear you struggle with the idea of justice. All right, finally, we have a non-risk question that I can talk about. Do you read fiction at all, and are you familiar with the legend of King Arthur? Somewhat, but not really. I'm going to make you roll that cap, dude. I'm going to make you roll that cap, and you're going to lose all your troops, and you're dumb. And you're dumb. A good read, in my opinion, is The Once and Future King by T.H. White. The novel focuses pretty squarely on the concepts of government justice and whether might makes right. Thanks for all the content you provide and look forward to hearing from you. My response to you, Goatman, is as I've gotten older, I've become a lot less interested in fiction because I find nonfiction to be more and more interesting and fiction to be more and more derivative of itself. There are only a few basic stories, and I'm very plot-driven when I enjoy fiction, and there just aren't enough interesting new stories anymore. So that is kind of how I think about this. I am bored of hearing the same story over and over again when the world is so interesting and my available time is so short. I barely have enough time to watch my own show or listen to my own show to make sure it's not garbage for you. Get another drink. I'll be right back. Oh, we back, baby. All right, we back. Did anything meaningful happen? Okay, so Black continued to instigate. Hey, Pete. How long would it take for an AI to comparatively reach beginner rank like the dev you mentioned if its learning was disabled? Learning disabled AI? That's some kind of joke, I imagine. Don't think we take dude's trade. We take this card. Yeah, happy with that. Martin Power. Hey, Pete, first time Twitch viewer, 3 a.m. for me in the Netherlands. Found your YouTube while on vacation. Been addicted to Risk ever since. Welcome, Martin. Hoe gaat het? We're still arguing about chess versus Risk, which is a very interesting, controversial topic. That I don't have to deal with that again. What is Magenta even doing? They finally quit? Oh, so it'll be, yes, they do. It'll be me versus Black in a crazy 1v1. Oh, shit. 2 versus 3 caps. That's spicy. That is spicy. Okay, we're already in a heads up. All right. Where were we? Got a lot of great questions here. Okay, our next question is from the Party Man Now 9000. Hey Pete, have you thought about maybe adding a losers bracket to the tournament play? So the first cut, you can give everyone something to play for. They don't just no-show or target players on the borderline of qualifying, especially as tournaments get bigger. So we've decided to solve the no-show problem in a different way, and I'm happy to share that with you guys now. This is at the forefront of my thinking towards how we are going to run this tournament in the future. Yeah, I think I can just stack it up here now because the other one, unless he comes back magically, the other one is going to be not a thing. Okay. The solution for no-shows, unlike other Risk tournaments, starting next season, the Kill Pete Open, assuming there will be a next season, you know, it will have to be based on demand. If you guys don't want another season, then we won't do another season. But I'm in talks with staff on the Discord. Most importantly, Kyle, who said he'd be willing to do it and wants to do it. And by most importantly, I mean most importantly, because he's doing the settings, is we will be eliminating no-shows. Okay? So if you no-show, if you do not show the minimum amount of respect to your other competitors, to not let them know that you won't be able to make it, and I get life happens, and I get that you're busy, but in order to have a community where we have competitive integrity, where we care about each other, where we show that we care about each other, the minimum respect necessary to win my money is to give enough of a shit to update your available times and get paired into a group that you can actually play. And if you still no-show, then we will give you an opportunity to buy back into the tournament at the cost of a single point for the first offense. Okay? I'm a reasonable person. I want people to play. I want people to be a part of the tournament. It will, if you do not notify staff and you no-show, in order to get back in, it will cost you a single point, which is extremely nominal. Why not a single Benjamin? I'm not taking anyone's money. Very important that I have never asked anyone for $1 to support this work. Everything you guys give me on Twitch is a donation, and I'm very grateful. So thank you for the support. Right? I'm not asking people. It should cost 1 bounty, you say, Spud? Bots make the games unequal. I did not play a single bot in all 8-9 rounds of KPO that I fucking played in. You're a good man, Pete. We try our best. And that is what it is. So this has the added benefit of filtering through the no-shows so that they are eliminated if they actually aren't interested in playing, and B, do not clog up the actual tournament for players who do want to play. Truth says it should cost all your life savings and 4 years of debt servitude. Jesus fucking Christ. Kyle says some people played against 10 to 12 bots in 8 rounds. That's fucking wild. You didn't play a single one either, did ya? We're playing a different game over here. This is what Kyle likes to say. Oh, hit the cap, baby! Hit the cap! No, he closed his line, actually. He's not hitting the cap. This guy's playing well. I mean, I think we're going to end up in a heads-up situation as soon as the magenta player bots. And then I'm in a very complex 1v1 with black, I would say, in some kind of advantage. Oof, my dice are shit, too. Let's see if black lets me hold South America. That's my question. Will I get to hold South America? Ladies, gentlemen. Okay. Yeah, and don't worry, the party man. We're thinking about all sorts of structural solutions to make the competitive environment have as much integrity as possible while still having it be as fun as we can make it for you guys. And I would hope that we are as well attended, if not better, next season for the KPO. And maybe I'll put a couple more dollars on the line. We'll see how it goes. Our next question is from Modest Pace Content. How do you make amends? There are times when the other half does not want to communicate. It is hard to accept that you can't even explain your position. Not the case in philosophy threads. Very grateful for that. Oh, interesting. So here's a question, Modest, I would like to share with you. Here's a thought I would like to share with you. This guy's locking off his capitals. The way you put it, how do you make amends? There are some times where the other half does not want to communicate. It is hard for you to accept that you can't even explain your position. You might not realize how selfish that is, right? You might not realize with this language that you are imposing upon the person that you are seeking to make amends to forgive you. Is it incumbent upon the person you are trying to apologize to communicate with you? Do they owe you something? Of course, it's hard to accept that you can't explain your position. You have done them wrong. I don't necessarily feel like I need to self-victimize and stick my neck out for someone who has already fucked me over. So I actually might be a great example of the type of person who would not give you the opportunity to apologize to, right? If someone lies to me, they get iced forever. They won't have the opportunity to apologize to me because I will never speak to them again. So you can use that information. Think about what you've done. Hope that they forgive you. Yeah, he's not going to let me hold. Right, rightly so. Rightly so. Okay. Well, I mean, I already earned second. I actually don't think I have to do anything, right? I can just chill. Magenta player's going to go offline and then, yep. And then we sit on second place. I don't think Black's in. Okay, he has gone offline. Cool. Okay, so now I don't worry about getting backdoored. Now I can block off that. I don't think. I can put a little on the cap, but I don't need to. Black's willing to go all the way off. Yeah, I think this is fine. I can sit there with a 47, right? Because in order to get my capital, is to punch through a 34. I have a guaranteed card here next turn. Now I'm in a 1v1, okay? So now I'm going to focus a little bit of my attention trying to win. He has a 27 troop lead. Let's see if I can beat this guy. I might not be able to. Might defeat the purpose of the question in the answering, too. Question is from Friday. Hey, Friday. Hey, Pete, love from Ottawa, our nation's capital of Ottawa. My question is, I have played Risk for a while now. But I was wondering, is putting a stack in the center of your bonus better than splitting them on your border? I find splitting on your border, people think I'm threatening them, and I'm just trying to defend territory. Thank you again for the streams and the video. You've made me a fan of Risk. Okay. We got this question on the stream somewhat recently. I'm going to explain what Friday is asking. We are talking about threat guards. I want second, but I want first too, if it's possible. We try for first. Come on, let's not kid around, folks. I don't think I get first though. I don't think there's a world in which I get first without this guy really fucking up. Okay. Well, is it technically a good play by you? Goes both ways, that question. All right, so the scenario that Friday is discussing is the Peru guard. So let's say this isn't a Capitals game, and let's say the board is even, right? So you could stack to guard South America with a stack in Brazil, a stack in Venezuela, or a stack in Peru, or both or all of the above. So the stack in Brazil play allows players to defends the boundary with Africa, but allows players to break you through Venezuela. The stack in Venezuela defends from attacks from North America, but allows players to break you from Africa. The stack in Peru play defends neither. But when you inevitably get your bonus broken from either Africa or North America, you don't lose the guard stack. And you've learned a valuable lesson. You've learned who your opponent is. So, my suggestion in these types of scenarios, I often say that I like to guard with threats, and I like to learn who my enemy is. I find it very insightful to learn who my enemy is. We get a lot out of that. I'm hoping this guy rolls one of my capitals, but I don't think he will. And I also like to have the troops to counterattack. That's why I prefer threat guards if at all possible. But when people stack against your bonuses is what really ticks me off, right? The fair weather friends or the fake allies, that fucking really stirs me wrong. You know? Don't stack on my borders, folks. Just guard with trust. Caution, guard stack against the bot is not recommended. My guard stacking. This bot is neutral. Remember, it says you'd be good at Magic. Yeah, man. I played Commander for a better part of a decade before the pandemic, which is what really got me into free-for-all games. I mean, I played Risk my whole life, but yeah. Okay, we see that the Black Cap's threatened. I really don't have, in my head, I don't have a line where I can win this game unless he fucks up. So I kind of have to wait for him to fuck up. But he is letting me hold territory. He's at 12 troops. So I'll pull troops here. That's good. I like that. I was trying to guard more territory and get slow advantage that way. He's getting 9 a turn. Maybe I win. Maybe I outposition him. We'll see. Wait for him to get bored, go to sleep, and bot out. Drew says there is a third option. Single guard stack that is on the border that isn't locked up. not threatening to nearby players. Yeah. So truth scenario I like a lot. So normally people think about guarding Australia in the 1-point turtle, the 1-point turtle interior, the 1-point turtle exterior. But there is a third option. Let's say you control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 territories. That's all you control on the board. If you guard those 7 from either India or China, players have the road. Let's say you're guarding from China. Players have the road to break you if they choose. So you are technically open, but you also have a huge puncher to counterattack into whatever direction you'd like. That's an interesting approach too, don't you think? Got a card snake. I have guards. And it's the dude's trade. Shit. All right, we need to generate this guy. Go to 11. With the troops on cap. I'm holding 15. Let's see if he lets me hold anything over. No, anything over 11 is a mistake. Because that gives me advantage. That closes the gap between us. I'm sorry, guys. I'm competitively minded, right? I see a scenario. It's like, I could win this game, though. It's like, maybe I win. All right, he's going to keep trying. I like it. All right, our next question is from Alejo. Oh, no, he's not. It's not his question. He's answering. He says, here's Alejo's answer. And Alejo is a top grandmaster for 1v1s. If you are playing against advanced players, probably it's better to put the whole stack behind your border. They will understand that if they break you, the punishment will be hard, thus avoiding it. It also shows that you're a good neighbor and not threatening. It also serves to know who's a good neighbor, who's a bad neighbor. That's what I was saying, right? It's a good thing to figure out who your enemy is. Also, good on this guy for not letting me have additional troops. I respect that. Okay. It serves to know who's a good neighbor and bad neighbor, and if they break you, you won't lose your stack and will have a chance to recover your bonus. He's basically answering exactly the way I would answer. Our next question is from Lumapex. So, Pete, since the U.S. laws regarding recreational marijuana have become increasingly more relaxed, I'm starting to think more about how law has influenced morality, primarily for older generations who grew up in the marijuana always being illegal. For those older generations, and I'm thinking about people like my parents, Southern traditional grandparents, weed was one of those things that was forbidden and viewed in many people's eyes as being wrong. However, with recreational use now being legal, people can use marijuana however they'd like, which challenges older generations' thought towards weed. What do you think about this issue? Is it just another example of the government trying to control something that was none of their business in the first place? Are older generations wrong for feeling like weed is wrong? The specific example of weed isn't terribly interesting to me. Oh, he bots too? Hilarious. So I actually win this game. Specific example of weed, substances are, well, lots of questions. Are substances moral goods? I don't think substances are moral good. I think substances are morally neutral. Like all tools, what we do with them is the thing that matters. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 there. Man, my dice are shit. But the interesting example, the philosophical example that you're bringing up is the relationship between law and morality. So first thing, I don't think that anyone would pretend to tell you that the law is justice. The law seeks justice desperately, but does a pretty piss poor job of it. What's he doing? We kill purple, take a card. That's expensive, troop-wise. Still has 30 troops on me. Yep, but he earned a card. Okay, how do I get there? Oh, do we have to use our Joker? Fuck. Let's hit the off-cap troops. And we get shit dice again, folks. We're at 22 territories, and we're a lot closer in troops. I've narrowed the gap now. I have one less capital than this guy, but we're closer in troops. Now it's like a 20-point deficit, not a 30. Okay, he's going to break me in. Yep, that's fine, but he doesn't get to the cap. Yeah, and you retreat to cap. We're going to be in the same scenario. I'll split off there. Long term, I think I have this guy. It's going to keep punching me. This is good. You should keep punching me. Because then what's going to happen is we're going to get reduce the amount of troops off of our capitals to the point where cap hits become more and more likely or possible. Nice. That was good. Yeah, he's letting me have too much. Also, you shouldn't let me get favorable rolls on your off-cap troops. That's not a good move. So tedious, though, this grind here. The relationship between law and justice, the relationship between law and morality. Law tends to be a lagging indicator for society's sense of morals. And the law can only keep up. I think our ability to execute compassionate justice, a societal ethic, is much better done on a cultural level than on a legal level, personally speaking. Don't let me hold 18 territories. Ugh. This is how I'm going to beat you. You're just letting me hold too many. Okay. How do I put a final pin in this question? I think people who lack a meaningful purpose to their lives are going to indulge in substances to help ease the burden of that sense of suffering. But it's not the substance's fault, it's the culture's fault, right? I think our culture requires an ethic of cohesive wholeness, requires an ethic of love, of generosity, right? We live in a world that is very lonely. Okay, Peru, it's always going to be there. Ural's in the front too, it doesn't really matter. Okay, I'll do that. It makes me sad to see how lonely people are. Makes me truly, truly sad. The lack of unity, the ridiculous separation, the individuation, right? The fact that we build ourselves into neat, individualized, segmented, compartmentalized production and consumption engines. Too bad. The function of our economy. Our next question is Raylar RJ. Hey, the portals and blizzards are a very nice addition of uniqueness to every match, but it also introduces extreme outliers, where a map that's usually fun ends up as complete luck. Would you support SMG giving players more control over where they spawn? Yes, I would. We spoke about this already. Could be a simple choose your Blizzard setting or complicated advanced map generation settings that would give some randomness, but, for example, disallow specific Blizzard combinations. Yeah, like impossible pockets. Right. Or even set unstable portal sequences. I feel like this would be especially beneficial in tournaments where it would reduce luck and allow for much wider potential settings. Raylar, you're speaking my language, sir. We would love to have a sandbox mode where we can control these types of things. And the day cannot come soon enough, so I am waiting with bated breath for this day to come. I just took the lead, folks, for a brief shining moment in the sun. All right, does he hit me hard with the 75? Yeah, loses 4 on a 3. Fuck. Oh, shit, he's wasted troops. He's wasted troops. Okay, that's great. He actually got a really good roll. He got a really good roll. This is going to hurt his feelings. Got to do a little light trolling at this point in the game. We've thought about this. A sandbox mode would be fantastic, and I can't wait for it to come. Our next question is from James117. Question: does your battle points earn you daily increase? Does your battle points you earn daily increase the more games you play, or is it only a fixed certain amount? I don't understand the question. Does anyone in chat understand this question? Help me answer, because I don't really understand the battle point system, but I would love to get an answer. Does your battle points you earn daily increase the more games you play, or is it only a fixed certain amount? Justin Inch says, I understand, but I don't know. Somebody must know the answer. And he quits, right? Tell me he quits here. Tell me he quits. If this man quits, we'll know fixed amount. He's asking, for example, you get 100 for 3 wins or 50 to 100, 150. Yeah, I don't. Okay, noob no more. Battle points have a fixed amount you can gain each day. Oh, like a cap. Yeah, battle points have a cap. I wonder if that was the... I'm sorry if I didn't answer it, man. I tried. I don't know exactly the language. Like, I think there's probably a comma in that question somewhere. Oh, he quit again. This is good. Peatman is going to start. Peatman's going to start to spiral out of control. Mootaz with the push-ups. We got a lifter. We got some push-ups. We're going to do them. Hey, Pete, what are your thoughts on Fitz caps? You're watching them, so here we go. And we got a stretch. We're going to move for you, folks. If you're just sitting in your seat, get out your seat, move a little bit with me. Take care of your body while we're hanging out watching this crapola. You know, it's real funny to me. The type of guy I am. It's like, I'm going to play this, I'm going to play these settings, but I won't play it with. Sure. Trade in 2 jokers. Oh, is that funny? The 2 jokers make it a +10. Otherwise, I get that dudes trade. That's so dumb. Right, I'm going to play these settings. I'm going to play for second. I was like, nah, maybe I can win. I was like, okay, I'll win instead. You know what I mean? It's so, so fucking dumb. The competitive mindset. All right, push-ups. Okay. I'm losing a lot of troops to these attacks. It's slowly getting bigger, though. Our next question is from the Kawalopi. Hey, Pete, love the videos. You 100% got me back into Risk. I heard you mention briefly your experience with ayahuasca. While I've never done that, I've had mushrooms a couple of times. I believe completely turned my life around. Have you ever had mushrooms? And if so, how would you compare the two? I have many times. I am a pretty strong advocate for psychedelic use for therapeutic use. I think most people with normal psychology would benefit from learning this about themselves. That's basically how I put it. There are lessons that you can learn about who you are. You really just can't learn any other way. We're waiting for Black to bot. How would I compare the difference? I find mushrooms energizing. Ayahuasca is not. Ayahuasca is a lot more contemplative, a lot more deep, a lot more emotional. When done in a therapeutic context with a trusted practitioner, I had found it to be utterly transformative in my life. And if done safely, if done with respect, with consideration, meeting the grandmother spirit, meeting yourself, learning about who you truly are, I think a lot of people would get a lot out of that experience. So I can't speak highly enough about it. It means a lot to me. And that's why I still seek it, and I still seek to meet with grandmother regularly when I feel called. Mushrooms, I have to digest, right? So I have an issue with the stomach aspect of mushrooms. And that takes a lot out of me. Right? And also then worrying about throwing up. Not super fun. Wait, what is grandmother spirit? Ayahuasca is a plant medicine from Peru, from the Amazon truth. And it is often framed as grandmother medicine. So it was an expensive card. The ceremonial component is absolutely religious. I have never felt like I had any of that thrust upon. Like I wasn't forced to obey any religious tradition in order to partake. I didn't have anyone's ideas forced upon me. It was more a journey of self-discovery. And notably about that, I actually had an experience where one of my earliest lessons with Madre was no more magical thinking. So I really liked that component as well. That offered me a lot because I was spending a lot of time in my life using magical thinking, hoping, sitting, waiting for something to happen, waiting for myself to become the man I thought I deserved to be, rather than doing the thing that would make me into that person. And as soon as I reframed, and as soon as I grasped the concept that there was no one who was going to make this happen for me, I was the only person who was the architect of his fate. and it was up to me to do it. That pivot, that reframe was very, very instrumentally helpful in getting my mind around becoming this person who I love, right? I like myself now. I don't hate myself every day. I don't think about killing myself every day. And I don't think I deserve to, okay, guys? And I don't think you deserve to. And if I always say this, right? If I can show you an example of a person who loves himself in a non-narcissistic way, in a non-toxic way, if I can show you an example of what someone who suffered and has come through the other side looks like, then that makes my suffering somewhat worthwhile. I hope I can model that for you. I hope we can speak about it wisely. I hope you guys know that I love you. I hope you know that I'm grateful that you would choose to spend this precious gift of life with me. We're all running out of time every second on the clock. So the fact that you would give me this tiny piece of your life is not lost on me. I'm very grateful. Thank you all, guys. Thank you so much. Okay. Our next question, I took this one from my YouTube comments. I thought it was very insightful. What are the odds of a 155 on 93? 40%. We can get those numbers up. We're in no rush now. We hold the whole board. We can just wait. Okay, this question from my YouTube comment rang so true that, hey, Miss Priss, how are you? Wow, deep? Yeah, hey, I'm not trying to make you cry. I've suffered enough in my life, right? At some point I said, I've had enough of this. I would like to live the rest of my life free of that pain, right? I would like to aggressively attack my goals, pursue what I think I deserve to pursue, become the man I deserve to be by working really, really hard every fucking day to make that happen, guys. And it's available to you too. Pete, I did. It's available to Becky with the good hair. Pete, I did it. I won zombies and fuck. Fuck yeah. Good for you. Fuck yeah. Who did you beat your friends? Go, Becky. Let's go. Fuck yeah, man. That's fantastic. Okay. This question is from a YouTube viewer. And we finally see Blackbot. We have won the game, folks. The question is, I was thinking, as I was trying to better myself from beginner level, I found it difficult as Risk is a game where sometimes you have to be a downright coward in the face of overly aggressive play or stupidity. And then we pivot to there. In order to try to survive longer and have a chance at placing higher in the finishing rankings or even win, I struggle with being a coward. Ha ha. I don't think I'm overly aggressive, but stupidity and needless aggression bothers me. So sometimes I strike back knowing that I'll finish last, but be able to hold my head high. Ha ha. You often mention the psychology of this game. Are you telling me I have to be a coward more in order to improve my ranking? I don't know if part of me places my personal pride and integrity of not being a whipping boy over actually improving my ranking. I don't know if I'd like myself if I always ran. Maybe that's where the patience thing comes in. To bide your time until an opportunity to strike back without being subsequently eliminated by another player arises. I suppose these questions are the ones that Risk players ponder endlessly. Ha ha. I loved this question so much that I wanted to read it out to you guys because I think it speaks to a lot of very interesting classical psychological elements. you didn't have the notion of being a coward and playing a certain way, then you wouldn't mind a style of play. It would be inconsequential. Yeah, well, that's what I'm getting at, Worm Dirt. Exactly. That's what I'm getting at. And Miss Priss says, I cannot express how deeply I resonate with this transformative process of discovering the true self, whatever that means. But in pivoting that mindset, recovering from struggles, I absolutely love hearing about your experiences and wisdom. Thank you for the kind words. Maybe I had to suffer in order to build myself, forge myself into this man, right? Into this weapon that hopefully achieves some good in the world. I had to learn it the hard way. Let me just answer this last question of the Q&A, because I think it's a great one to end on. Thank you, Lurikine Savant. Thank you for the prime. The framing of retreat as cowardly is such a macho bullshit way of thinking, right? It is such a old-fashioned pride ethic. We know pride is the oldest sin, right? Pride is the mother of all vices. Understanding this, guys, understanding that you are the one who is in power in your life. You might not be in power of what other people do. You might not be in power of the world. You might feel very weak. And these might be moments where you would be like, well, I certainly wouldn't want to bruise my ego by retreating. But it is not necessarily about winning the battle. And it is very, very much about winning the war. If I was never willing to retreat in these settings are a perfect example, right? Play for second, play for second, play for second until you can play for first. Wait. When you are pushed, when Magenta broke me in South America, did I hit him back because of some macho bullshit? Because of some pride? That my pride was bruised? No, I waited. And they all quit. Because they're all losers. But I'm not. Sometimes you have to retreat to win. But if your pride is bruised, if your ego tells you no, cannot accept anything other than perfection, you are a little baby, my friend. We'll leave you on those notes. Oh, geez, I didn't realize that you won. I did. I won the game. The questioner should read Art of War. There's a lot going on there with that one. There's a lot going on there. All right, folks, that was a pleasure. Let me decompress rather for a minute and grab myself another delicious beverage. I am also a little baby. We are all beautiful little babies and deep down inside. I think you've been down to one troop and one before. I think I have two, Kibbeloff. And those are the best shows, aren't they?